Then those two multiplied together should be equal to the probability of female and classic rock together. I think you guys should be okay knowing the rule if they're independent. Now plugging in numbers is where I'm concerned, and what I saw on your test makes me concerned. When you plug in for a probability, you cannot plug in a number bigger than 1. It has to be some type of fraction, all right? Like for instance, probability of female, you just can't plug in 81. It's got to be 81 out of however many people there are total. All right, you cannot plug in a number bigger than 1 for a probability question. So help me out. You got your calcs ready? What is the probability I pick a female out of this chart? First thing, find how many females are in the chart. Using your chart and your calculator, figure out how many females are in here. And again, doing a better job on here. Hey, a little help. 10, how many females in this chart? No 10. 10, no 10. 14, how many females? 105. Now, I don't put 105 here. I put 105 out of the total number of people in this chart. So it's going to be 105 out of how many total people in this chart? 7? 0 for 2. That's all right. I'm going to get there. I want to hear from people. 13?
215.
215. Everyone all right where Jared's getting that number from? 215? 110 males, 105 females. All good. That's probability right there. A fraction. Now let's do it for classic rock. What's the probability you get somebody likes classic rock? Anybody. Anybody likes classic rock. How many like classic rock in this chart? 2? How many like classic rock? 78. We had 42 and 36. Out of, again, I don't put 78 out of 215. And we're going to see we're going to multiply those two in a second and see if it's equal to, what about the probability I get a female and classic rock? So we're the two mesh now. We're those two mesh. How many are female and also like classic rock in the table? Where's that number? 11?
36.
Yep. And then again, I just don't put 36. Probability it's out of a total. 215. Now it's on you guys. Are those the left and the right equal to each other? Are their decimals equal to each other? All right. So you go to your calculator. Go ahead. 105 out of 215 times 78 out of 215. Get a decimal for me. And see if that decimal matches 36 out of 215. If they do, independent. If they don't, not independent. Yes.
Wait, why is it not 105 for the female and classic rock?
It's got to happen. They have to be female and they have to like classic rock. If you do 105, out of this 105, 15 like classical, though. See, I need the mesh, female and classic rock, all right, at the same time. And here's what I'm getting. I don't know about your calculator. I'm getting over here, I'm about 1.77. And over here for the and, I'm getting about 1.67 for my decimal. Well, I'm just multiplying in my calculator. And if your calculator gives you a fraction back, just divide the two numbers they give you. All right, just divide the two numbers. So what can we say about female and classic rock? Because we can't just show this without writing something about what we just proved. What can we say about female and classic rock? Independent or not independent? 11 again?
Not independent.
Not independent. They have to be equal to each other to be independent. We're going to see this. We're going to see this. And we're going to do more of these, but so this is the rule it needs to follow. Questions? Anything else? We all good? All right. We'll do one more from this exam before we switch it over. 37. Here we go. 37. You will have one 6-point question at the end. It's going to be big. All right, one 6-point question. You cannot leave it blank. That's 6 points you're giving up. And remember, there is partial credit, so ride the partial credit train as far as you can. All right, make sure you get a ticket, and we'll ride that bad boy as far as you can. Don't leave things blank, especially if it's a graphing problem like this, where my calculator is going to do all the work. So go ahead, read through 37. Flip it over there, Noah. We got a big part A there first. All right, so this first part says graph both of them. From where? 0 to? What's this mean here? What's this telling me right here? What do I have to do for my graph? What's that telling me? Your best guess here. Best guess. 8. And look at your graph too. What am I asking you to graph for? Everything from?
0 to 100.
Yeah, 0 to 100. Now, hey, does that mean I have to go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 100 going by ones? No. Look at your x-axis. Just go by tens. So where do I get the points to plot now? That's on you guys now. Where do I get the plots to point? Where can I get them now? If I have to graph from 0 to 100, where can I go to find all the points? Grab your calculator. Where do you go on your calculator to do graphing? Help me out here. I can't help you 3 weeks from today, FYI. 3 weeks from today. 5, where do I go to graph? Everyone go to y equals. I'd probably do one at a time here, so let's do A. So I got 15.7, parenthesis, 0.98 raised to the x. Where do I go to find points now? For this graph, where do I go to find my points? Go ahead, Amanda. Everyone see the table? Good. Second graph. Now, again, you don't have to graph 0 through 100. I don't have time for that. Either do you. We only have, you got to be there 3 hours. I don't even know if that's enough to graph 0 to 100. So just go by tens. So 0, 15.7. So 0, 15, as best as you can, 15.7. And I will let you go from here to graph up to 100. And then when you're ready, go back to y equals again and put in equation B. Let's go. Plot them as best you can. Go by tens, 0, 10. I think you guys are comfortable scrolling down. I will give you plenty of time to finish this. You have to stay 2 hours, so you might as well take your time. And what did we say? This was a 6-point question? This is probably worth 3 points right now. The graph alone is half credit. It's worth 3 points. Nearest integer, solve the equations now. When are they equal to each other? Now, respect, I know most of you will probably try to do this, and I wouldn't blame you. I tried doing this at the beginning. 15.7 times 9.8 to the x, there's equation A. And here's equation B, trying to set them equal to each other and trying to solve. I have no idea how to solve that. I'll be honest. No idea. Seriously, I have no idea how to solve that. But then I was like, what did we just spend almost 10 minutes just doing? What did we just do? Graphing this thing. And when are the two equations equal to each other on a graph? Where the two graphs do what?
When the lines intersect.
Where they intersect each other. Yes? Where they intersect. So, but I'm still not confident because I don't know if you took a look at my graph. it's a little shady. All right, I can't really tell to the nearest whole number. I'm going to be making a guess where they intersect. It looks like maybe 35 here, but it could be 34, 36. Who knows? So ready to use your calculator to figure out where they intersect. Here we go. Grab your calculators. We're going to learn a little more info about your calculators. Type both equations into y equals. I think some of you may know this from your Algebra 1 days as a freshman. Got them typed in? Now, most of you, you hit your graph button and see pretty much a blank graph, huh? I see maybe a little chunk of it over here starting to form. So how am I going to tell where they intersect if I can't even see it? Here we go. This happens. This could be any time you want to see a different part of the graph or more of the graph. Right now, hey, on my graph, right now, your standard setting on your graph is 10 by 10 on the X and Y axes. Look at your graph. What's on the X axis on your graph? All the way up to what? On your X axis? All the way up to what on your X axis?
On the
X, up to 100. On the Y, it's up to 20. So how can I change my calculator to show all this? Window. Everyone, window. And you'll notice my X max is at 10 right now, but what do I want my X axis to be at? 100. So type in 100. Oh, sorry, that's still negative 10. I don't care about the minimums here. So 100. And then Y maximum. What's our Y? We want it all the way up to what now? Not 10, but 20. And watch the magic. Graph. Oh, yeah, that thing's looking nice. There, now I can see it, and I can see where they intersect. But just please realize, hey, before we finish the question, realize anytime you graph again, you're going to get that window. How do I change it back to its normal 10 by 10? Zoom standard. That's how you can always go back. Because remember, you can't call me over and be like, something's wrong with my graph. I can't help you out. So if you ever want to go back to your original settings, Zoom standard. All good? Because you're going to keep seeing this window every time. All right, now, how do I find where the actual point where they intersect? Anybody remember that from your Algebra 1 days? Aaron, drop some knowledge. Second trace, everyone. Go ahead. Second trace. Come on, seniors. Out of all these choices, probably what? Intersect, number 5. And then a blinking spider should pop up on your screen. Does anybody not have that blinking spider on their screen? All right, and at the bottom, it'll say first curve. You just want to put that bad boy on the point of intersection as close as you can get. Put it right on the point of intersection. Doesn't have to be precise, but be in the area. And then you hit enter. Enter, okay. And it'll say, all right, put it on the second curve. It already is. All right, already is on the point of intersection of the second curve. So I hit enter again. And then finally, it'll say, want to take a guess? Yep. Enter for a third and final time. And then solving for X, that's where it intersects. And we just got to make sure we round correctly. So second trace, intersect. Put the spider on where they intersect. Enter 3 times. It intersects at about 30. 35. Okay? Everyone see how we got that? Now, unfortunately, we didn't show any work for that. And we have to show work for everything that's not multiple choice. So how do I show work if I just use my darn calculator? Right? And I'm dead serious here. This is what needs to happen if you use your calculator like you just did for a problem and didn't show any work. Ready? I used my graphing calculator. And I know this seems ridiculous, but this is going to prove to whoever's correcting it that you just didn't have good eyesight. See where I'm going there? Good eyesight? Everyone? Yeah? Here, I'll say it. You didn't cheat. Okay? That's what you're proving right now. I use my graphing calculator. And you have to tell me what buttons you pressed. Where did we go to get that? You don't have to do everything, but second, we did what? Second, trace, and then went to where? intersect. Yep, and that's all we need. We know you get the deal. We know you are doing the right thing. Okay, but you do have to do that if you don't show work and just use your graphing calculator. Multiple choice, we don't care. Remember, it's just parts 2, 3, and 4. Whew. And did I mention too? I'm not grading your test. I'm not allowed to. I don't think I did. I'm not allowed to grade your test. Somebody else in the math department is going to grade it. All right. Which means to me, Tim, are you listening?
Yeah.
You need to be neat on your work. Okay, because I'm not looking at it. So you got to be as neat as possible when you write all this stuff. And then finally, part C. What's B of 100 minus A of 100? How do I get those values? I'll take any thoughts here from anyone. How do I find what B of 100 is equal to? B of 1. Where did they just plug 100 into? What was already there at the beginning of the problem that I just plugged 100 in for? B of. Go back to the original equation. What variable was there? B of x. So you got to go back to the b, whatever b of x was, and plug in 100 for x. Whether it be using your table of values that you had up there, or just plugging 100 in for x. Go ahead, and I'll ask you what you got. So we're going back to b of x and plugging in 100 for x, and tell me what value you get out. You can do that on the table, using your table, or you can just plug it in and find out. When you get that value, let me know. 4, when you get that value. 4, let me know.
If it's asking for the nearest minute, could you not just go back onto your graph?
But you're subtracting the 2, though.
Yeah, so could you just get both values from the graph and then subtract them of the 100? Or am I thinking?
You got to look at the y value though, not the x value. At 100 is the x value.
Yeah, so then you just take the 2 and you take the 5 because it's asking for nearest.
That answer is going to be no then, because the answer is not 3. Yes. Who has 4? Greg, what do you got?
I'm very confused.
Okay, so it's all right. Ready? Let me backtrack. So at the beginning, it said b of x was 11 times 0.99 to the x, right? Now I'm asking for b of 100. See how I plugged 100 in for x? So now it's going to be 11 times 0.99, not to the x, but to the 100. Okay, that's what I'm looking for both of them. Yep.
So I got, so it's rounding, so it's 2. I got 2.
For b of 100?
Oh, no, for the total.
Okay, 4.2064 for b of 100. Everyone all right where I just used the table. I went back to my table and found what it was at 100. And then I did the same thing for A now. This one right here, I plugged in 100 and got 2.0821. Subtracted the 2 like it asked me to. And rounded to the nearest minute, and it would have given me 2 minutes. Questions there? Okay, I'm not a big fan of this, but we have to answer the question. We're not leaving it blank. Explain what this 2 minutes means given the context of the problem. What does 2 minutes mean in this problem? Go back to that long paragraph you just had. Sorry, I know usually there's a story there, but we have to actually pay attention to the story. What did we just plug 100 in for? What did we just plug 100 in for? X. Read the problem. What's X represent? Number of customer service reps, right? So they're telling me when I have 100 customer service reps working, what's that 2 minutes mean?
Yeah, but wait.
The wait time is going to be the difference, because we subtracted the difference, it'll be 2 minutes. Okay, so that's what, in your own words, that's what you can write right now for part C. When I have 100 customer service reps working, the difference in wait time is 2 minutes. Six points right there. All right. And I would say probably 4 out of 6 is just using your calculator. The graph in the intersection. Any questions there? All right, before we shut this exam down, I gave you the stat question yesterday, 36 to try. I gave you a normal distribution, 30 to try. And I gave you a factoring question to try, 26. Any of those 3 we want to cover right now? Go over as a class. Aaron, let's go.
36.
Okay, 36, yep, from our stats unit. I'm going to try to make this as easy as possible. I don't want, I didn't learn anything or whatever while I don't want to hear any of that. I'm going to make this as easy as possible. Number 1 is, based on this simulation, 95% confidence interval. You know the formula or you don't. Okay, you know the formula or you don't coming into the exam because it's not on the reference sheet. Confidence interval, mean plus or minus your margin of error. All right, that's how I find my confidence interval. Anytime I see that 95% staring me in the face, confidence interval time. Mean, they give it to you right here, 0.819 plus or minus. Here's another formula I'm going to need, margin of error. How do I find margin of error? Plus or minus 2 times your standard deviation, which is also given in the top left-hand corner. So plus or minus 2 times 0.053. You guys go to your calculator, you do 2 times 0.053, and that gave me 0.10. I have no idea. I didn't do it that way. So I didn't actually calculate it. What is it, point or 1 point or 0.1?
0.106.
Okay, there you go. So that's what gets plugged in here. All right, now how do I use these numbers to find my confidence interval? First thing I do is 0.819 minus 0.106. That'll give me the lower end. 0.819 minus 0.106, which is 0.713. And then I add them to get the upper end all the way to 0.925. So there's my confidence interval. And also directions, rounding, nearest thousandth. Did I go nearest thousandth or is this hundredth?
No.
This is thousandth, 3 after the decimals, 1,000th. All right, now, here's as easy as this is. I know the reading, you see a bunch of numbers. They're going to give you a number, and you have to see if it's inside or outside your confidence interval. That's it. All right, so as you read through, survey of 60 people found 70%. Why should the organization question the claim? Where's 70 fall? Inside or outside? Where's 70 fall? Outside. That's all you have to write. 70% falls outside the confidence interval. I'm telling you, that's what these problems are going to be. Find the confidence interval. Here's a number. Where does it fall? If it falls outside, remember it's significant. If it falls inside, it is not. That's all these stat problems are going to be. I guarantee it. Find the confidence interval, then they're going to give you a number to test. If it's inside, it's not significant. If it's outside, it is significant. All right. All good there? All right, let's close up shop. I am done with this exam unless you're coming in to review with me. And we are at June 2022. If you print it out, use it. If not, open up Aspen and have it open on your screen while taking notes on some type of notebook that you will be using throughout the entire review. June 2022. Open up Aspen for a copy, the blank one. And make sure you have a notebook where you're going to write down all your work for the remainder of the reviews we have in class. Okay, real quick, I cannot keep holding your hand here. It's all on Aspen, Catherine, all on Aspen, not on Classroom. I can't keep holding your hand. I need you to start building some self-confidence. So right now on that exam, I will give you less than 5 minutes. Problems 1 and 3, please. Problems 1 and 3 right now. June 2022, numbers 1 and 3.
Where is it?
Okay, you got to get our web page.
Where is it?
So if you add, yep,
Where is
Cal
it?
number 2 there. Yep, and then go back. There should be class, yep, those folders. You only need one, and that's midterm review. And then I have every single Regents posted there. And all of them have work and a blank exam, an exam with all work, and then links to video solutions. All right?
When I'm doing the like X store something, it gives me an error.
Yeah.
That's because you got to store the number in first.
Ah, okay.
Got to do the number first.
1
and 3. 1 and 3 only. Build some confidence here. I picked 1 and 3 on purpose.
I need a.
We got to win the multiple choice battle.
It's not my math bond.
Okay, Tim, to just use Aspen. It's fine. Let's not waste time. Find it on your own time. Just so I don't run out of time, both these problems were store problems I gave you. They're both store problems, equivalent to. They're both using your store key. All right, so you pick a value for X on number one, store it in, and then did we have trouble finding the fourth root where that is on the calculator? That's under math. And instead of choosing the cube root, you choose number 5 and you can make it any root you want. All right, that's how you find it. And it ended up being choice 1 here. All right, all the store key. And the same thing with number 3. 3 was a store as well. Store whatever value you want in for X, see what the original was equal to, and then it should have been choice 1 again. They matched. I feel nervous here about this whole store procedure strategy. Are we okay on how it works? When we can use it? Anytime you see the equivalent to? Okay. 2 days of this doesn't make you jacked. You're still frail. Okay. You still need to keep practicing. Hey, here are the 6 I'm recommending tonight. All right. If you want. Nope. We're done with August. Everything we do now for the rest of the week is June. Okay. Those are the 6 I'm recommending for June. Come back and ask your questions tomorrow. Those are the 6 for June.
Are you here after school?
Yes, I am.
Can I come in?
I'll be here. I'm going to be looking for the day 1 stuff tomorrow, Norm. Okay, so watch that video. I'll be looking for it tomorrow. Have a good day.